You feel it, don't you? That weight, that exhaustion that lingers just beneath the surface of your everyday. You can't quite place your finger on why you're tired. It's not just physical, it's emotional, mental, spiritual. There's this pressure to be everything to everyone, to always keep the peace, to be the kind one, the understanding one, the perfect friend, partner, colleague. And for what? To get a pat on the back and a few hollow words of thanks? You've been taught to believe that if you play by the rules, if you're nice, kind, fair, and humble, the world will recognize you, appreciate you, and reward you. But what if I told you that's a lie? A comfortable, sugar-coated lie designed to keep you obedient, predictable, and controllable. Imagine that. All these years you've been playing the game by rules that were never meant to work in your favor. The more you gave, the more they took. The more you bent over backward to please, the more others took advantage. And you stayed silent, smiled through it, thinking, it's okay, it's fine. But it's not, it never was. Here's the cold, hard truth. The world doesn't reward kindness. It rewards power. It rewards strategy. People may say they value good intentions, but how many times have you been the one who's overlooked, ignored, used, or left behind? How many times have you made sacrifices only to be left wondering why no one ever seems to notice, appreciate, or care? You've been there. You've felt it in your bones. The more you tried to be the good guy, the less people seemed to care. The more you sacrificed, the more they demanded. So let me ask you, how many times have you stood by while others walked all over you? How many times have you kept your mouth shut to avoid confrontation, swallowed your feelings to avoid upsetting the balance, kept quiet because it was the right thing to do? How many times have you let someone take advantage of your kindness, only to realize it wasn't kindness at all, but fear? Fear of rejection, fear of being disliked, fear of being alone. That's what all this niceness is hiding. A mask you wear to avoid facing your own insecurities, your own truth. If you're here right now watching this, it's because you're starting to see it for what it really is. You've already felt the frustration of trying to be the good person, the kind person, the understanding friend, and now you're beginning to realize that all that effort has been for nothing. In fact, it's been against you. And let me tell you something that might shock you. It's not just your kindness that's hurting you. It's the lack of power. When you're kind all the time, without boundaries, without strength, without the ability to say no when it matters, you're a target. You become invisible, weak, easily manipulated. And you know what happens to things that are seen as weak? They get taken, they get used, and they get discarded. It doesn't matter how good your intentions are. The world doesn't care about your moral compass. It cares about what you can give, what you can provide, what you bring to the table. Don't believe me? Take a good look around you. Who holds the power? Who leads? Who earns the respect? Is it the kindest, the most generous, the most selfless? Or is it the ones who know how to play the game, who know how to present themselves, who command presence because they understand that kindness alone won't cut it? No, the world rewards the effective, the strategic, the ones who aren't afraid to assert themselves and take control. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you'll stop being a pawn in everyone else's game. This is where Machiavelli comes in. That name might make you think of ruthless tactics, power-hungry leaders, and cold-hearted decisions. But listen closely. What if I told you that Machiavelli wasn't the villain the world makes him out to be? What if he was simply the first person to point out the truth about how power works? What if he was the one brave enough to tear down the fantasy of fairness and show us the real way the world operates? Because here's the thing, Machiavelli didn't teach us to be cruel. He taught us to be strategic. He showed us that morality detached from reality is a trap. And that's exactly what you've been falling into. What if I told you that being nice, being good, being self-sacrificing all the time is the quickest way to make sure you get overlooked, taken advantage of, and eventually discarded? That's the reality, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. The more you give, the less you're valued. And the more you try to please, the more they expect. The more you're ignored, the more invisible you become. Think about it. How many times have you been frustrated with yourself, trying to do the right thing, be the right person, just to have it all blow up in your face? You try to be kind, understanding, helpful, but no one respects you. No one listens to you. No one values what you bring. And you start to wonder, what's the point? Why am I even doing this? Because deep down, you know you're being played. And if you don't stop playing by their rules, if you don't stop being the nice guy who just does what everyone expects, then you're going to keep losing. And that's where Machiavelli's insights come into play. He wasn't out to teach people how to be malicious. He was out to teach people how to stop being naive. He understood that to thrive in this world, to make an impact, to gain respect, you can't just play the part of the nice, self-sacrificing person. You have to be strategic. You have to be smart. You have to play the game in a way that ensures you aren't the one getting manipulated, that you aren't the one getting walked all over. So let's get brutally honest here. Are you tired of being used? Tired of being invisible? Tired of being the one who's always nice but never respected? If you are, then it's time to change. It's time to stop living in the shadows of your own kindness and start taking control of your life. You deserve more than being a doormat. You deserve respect. You deserve power, and you deserve to live on your terms. But how do you do that? How do you break free from the shackles of constantly trying to be the good person? The answer is simple. Stop trying to be everything for everyone. Stop pleasing people who will never appreciate you. Stop silencing yourself to avoid conflict and start learning to say no. You don't need to become cruel, but you do need to stop being a doormat. At this point, if this resonates with you, then go ahead and subscribe to the Mind's Mirror channel. Let's dive deeper into this, because there's much more to uncover. Don't let yourself remain stuck in the prison of constant self-sacrifice. You deserve to be free, respected, and in control. You weren't born to please everyone. No, that was taught to you, conditioned into you. As a child, you learned quickly that to be accepted, to fit in, there was a price to pay. You had to shrink yourself. You had to swallow your true desires, your opinions, your emotions. It started small. Don't say that, it's rude. Be nice, don't be too loud. And over time, you molded yourself into what others wanted you to be. You became what was expected. You learned that if you kept the peace, if you kept a smile on your face and put others first, then you'd be loved. But what no one told you is that this niceness wasn't real kindness. It was a psychological trap. The worst part is, you don't even realize you're trapped until it's too late. You've been living this way for so long, trying to be agreeable, trying to be the nice, friendly, considerate person, that you've lost sight of who you truly are. You tell yourself you're being empathetic, understanding, kind, but really you're just avoiding confrontation, avoiding rejection, avoiding discomfort. You're acting out of fear, not kindness. And it gets worse. The more you please, the more others expect. They start to take advantage, and you keep giving. But inside, you start to feel the resentment building. You start to feel exhausted, burned out, and like no one even notices. And that's because, in truth, no one respects a person who doesn't have boundaries. No one takes a person seriously who is constantly accommodating, constantly smiling through the pain, constantly saying yes even when they mean no. You are being used not because you're a bad person, but because you are too predictable, too safe, too easy to control. Let's face it, people don't admire the nice guy. They admire the person who can say no without feeling guilty. They admire the one who doesn't always bend to everyone's will. They admire the person who commands respect because they know their worth, their value, and their limits. And you know what? You're capable of that too. But in order to get there, you need to take a long, hard look at what's been driving you. The deep-seated fear that if you aren't nice, if you don't play the role of the good person, people won't love you. But let me tell you, this fear isn't real. It's a lie you've been conditioned to believe. If you've been feeling that knot in your stomach, that frustration bubbling up, it's because you're realizing that the way you've been living isn't working. And here's the kicker. It was never meant to. The more you try to be what others want, the more you ignore what you want. The more you try to be liked, the more you lose your true self. And what's the point of being nice if it means sacrificing your dignity, your values, your authenticity? Here's the moment of truth. You've been living in fear. You've been playing the game by everyone else's rules, hoping to get love and respect in return. But the truth is, the world doesn't operate that way. Machiavelli was right when he said that the truly powerful are not the ones who are loved, but the ones who are feared, the ones who are respected. And before you get uncomfortable with that word, feared, let me clarify. Fear doesn't mean cruelty. It doesn't mean manipulation. It means presence. It means people knowing that if they cross you, there will be consequences. It means having the strength to stand your ground, even when it's uncomfortable, because that's where true respect comes from. It doesn't come from being liked. It doesn't come from being agreeable. It comes from being someone who commands respect through your actions, your presence, and your unshakable confidence in your own value. And let me tell you, that's the kind of respect you deserve. But you won't get there if you keep hiding behind your niceness. You won't get there if you keep letting people walk all over you, all in the name of kindness. You need to stop pretending that being nice all the time is enough. It's not. It's not enough to just be kind if you don't back it up with strength, with clarity, with boundaries. Nice people get walked on. Nice people get taken for granted. Nice people fade into the background. So what does it take to break free? It takes the courage to be real, to stop pretending to be something you're not, to stop living to meet others' expectations, to stop apologizing for your existence, for your voice, for your needs. It takes strength to say no without guilt, to walk away when necessary, to choose yourself when everyone else is demanding your attention. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you said no without feeling like you had to explain yourself? When was the last time you put yourself first without worrying about what anyone would think? Think about it. When was the last time you chose your own peace over someone else's comfort? I know it's been hard, but I also know that if you're still here, you're ready for change. You're ready to stop being the nice guy and start being the person who respects themselves enough to set boundaries, to speak up, to take control. And here's the truth. You don't have to be cruel or cold to do that, but you do need to stop being a doormat. You need to stop living for other people's approval. You need to start acting with intention. Start valuing yourself the way you've been trying to value others. The world may not teach you this, but I will. You don't have to be the nice guy. You just have to be the real you, the one with power, the one with presence, the one who knows when to speak up and when to walk away. So I ask you, do you want to keep living in the shadows of your own niceness, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be valued? Or are you ready to step into the light, take control of your life, and become the person you were always meant to be, respected, valued, and unapologetically powerful? If you're ready for that transformation, then this is just the beginning. But it starts with one decision: to stop being nice and start being real. To stop sacrificing yourself for others and start standing for yourself. That's the only way you'll truly be free. And let me tell you, it's worth it. You are worth it. Don't wait for someone else to free you. Take control. The time is now.